I said to a client recently, I'm noticing that whenever we talk about taking risks, your language shifts to all the things that could go wrong. This is the fourth session where I've seen that pattern. What do you make of it? She paused and said, I had no idea I was doing that. That's exactly what I do in life too. That moment when a pattern becomes visible to the client for the first time, that's where real change begins. Let's talk about how to make that happen. So you've observed something recurring across multiple sessions, a behavior, an emotion, a response pattern that keeps appearing. Here's the thing, that pattern remains completely invisible to your client. They're too close to their own experience to recognize the recurring theme. It's like trying to read the label from inside the jar. And that's where you come in. Your role is to make the pattern visible so they gain awareness and choice. Because here's what visibility does. It transforms unconscious repetition into conscious decision making. Once they can see the pattern, they have options. Continue it or change it. But either way, now it's a choice rather than an automatic response. The ICF Marker says the coach notices trends in the client's behaviors and emotions across sessions to discern themes and patterns. I want you to focus on that word discern. You're naming what you see for their benefit, not diagnosing or labeling. This is observation offered as a gift, creating space for the client to explore what resonates. Discernment requires patience and presence. It requires the willingness to hold what you notice until the right moment to share it emerges naturally in the coaching relationship. You're not rushing to share every observation. You're waiting for the moment when naming the pattern will serve their growth. The language you use matters enormously here. Try inviting exploration. I'm noticing that over our sessions together, there's a theme emerging around how you respond to unexpected changes. Or share your observation openly. There's something I've been seeing that has shown up a few times, and I'm curious if it resonates with you. Or ground it in specifics. In our last 3 sessions, you've mentioned feeling overwhelmed right before making major decisions. And here's what you never say, you always. Those words sound like judgment rather than observation. They trigger defensiveness instead of curiosity. Keep your language tentative and invitational. You're offering a perspective, not delivering a verdict. When you name a pattern well, several things happen. First, visibility. They can finally see what they couldn't see before. The unconscious becomes conscious, creating the foundation for meaningful change. Second, choice. They can continue the pattern or not, but now it's conscious. Awareness transforms automatic reactions into intentional responses. Third, awareness. The pattern becomes material for exploration. Questions emerge. Why does this show up? What purpose does it serve? What might be different? And fourth, growth. Here's what's remarkable. Patterns often change simply by becoming visible. The transformation process begins the moment they see what was hidden, even before any action is taken. Your observation creates all of that possibility. Now, here's something equally important, noticing when patterns change. Pattern change is evidence of growth. When you notice a shift in a long-standing pattern, name it explicitly. This reflection helps clients recognize their own progress and reinforces new ways of being. Use language like, I noticed something different today, to draw attention to the evolution happening in real time. Let me give you an example of how this sounds. In the past, it's taken you a really long time to get over frustration and to begin processing and moving forward. But what I'm seeing today is that you're quickly processing the frustration and moving forward. What's it like to be able to process that frustration so quickly? You see what's happening there? You're naming the shift, celebrating the growth, and inviting them to notice their own evolution. That's powerful coaching. Let me tell you what to avoid when bringing patterns to clients. First, naming patterns as accusations. You always. Sounds like judgment rather than observation. Use neutral, curious language that invites exploration instead of triggering defensiveness. Second, waiting too long. Don't hold observations for months. Share what you notice within 2 to 3 sessions so the pattern is fresh and relevant for exploration. Third, assuming patterns are fixed. Patterns can and do change. Avoid language that makes them sound permanent or defining. Stay curious about evolution and shifts. And fourth, keeping observations to yourself. Your observations are valuable coaching material. Offer them generously. The client always has choice about what resonates and what to explore. Don't hoard your insights. They're meant to be shared. Let me leave you with the essential takeaways. Patterns become powerful when the client sees them for themselves. Your role is to illuminate, not diagnose. You're shining a light so they can see what was in shadow. Name patterns as neutral observations, never as judgments. Use I notice language to maintain curiosity and openness in the conversation. And when patterns change, celebrate it. That's growth in action. And recognition reinforces the new way of being. You want to be able to notice those patterns and bring them to the client so that the client can work with them. That's the gift of ongoing coaching relationships. We've now covered all 6 markers of active listening. Next, let's bring together everything you've learned and make sure you're ready to put these skills into practice.